awesome humans, and welcome back to the Ash Gracie podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode.
So we're talking about the idea of you can do anything.
You can do anything, and I'm trying to recount what I just said.
No, so basically it was something about the idea of the human experience, and even though people kind of go through a lot of shit in their lives that might kind of hinder that, but
yeah, it's just the human spirit. I'm gonna say what I just said.
Yeah.
I saw this guy on TikTok that posted a video and was day one of walking on my hands. This is a scrawny guy. This guy can't for the life of him walk on his hands. He's just trying. He's basically bear crawling. He can't stand on his hands. And then I scroll up on his account, day 803 of walking on my hands, and he's fucking jacked and he's doing spins and he's jumping off the walls and he's crazy. So that's it's so cool. And just I've been helping people with their vocal coaching. I won't go into specifics about people, but just the idea of folks that start off oh, I'm tone deaf, I've never learned to sing, no one in my family sings, so I don't sing. And just being you can sing, do you want to sing? And if you want it and you practice, even when you become discouraged and you make yourself do it, you will inevitably eventually get to a point where now you can sing.
Yeah.
It's not just about wanting it, because there's just there are so many things impacting us as people that will discourage us from chasing the things that we want. But the moment you go for it and you stick to it, you remain persistent, you remain stubborn about it, and sometimes you need a push from other people, or sometimes you just need a reminder for yourself. But if you just keep going at something, you will be able to do it. None of that it's impossible bullshit.
Exactly, and vice versa. If you say that you can't do something, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely not.
That's going to be the thing that's hindering you. It's going to be yourself. And so if you just think that you can do anything, then you truly can just do anything, because people just do things. It's the time.
Literally just that. It's obviously some of it is a combination of passion and discipline, but mostly it's just do one thing every day. Literally one thing every day. You want to do a perfect push-up? I can't do a perfect push-up for the life of me. If I start right now, I will maybe go halfway down, or I can do a full one if my knees are down. But if I every day do 3 reps of 20 push-ups or something like that, over time, maybe it takes me a really long time, maybe it takes me less time, eventually I will get to the point where I can do one perfect push-up. But you just have to keep doing it. You can't say, oh, I'm going to do a push-up one day, and then I'm going to wait 3 weeks.
You know what I think is interesting, though? I think that a lot of people crave instant gratification. And I think that's why people are unable. And I remember I read this summer? Atomic Habits. And they kind of go over this same concept of do small things every day to reach your goals. And because if you want something, you're going to find a way to do it. That's just a fact of life. If you truly want something, then you will get past every single boundary that gets in your way. So for things that you claim you want to do and you want to start integrating it into your life, you need to have that same drive to get rid of the boundaries and the things that are in your way. And one of those things is the idea of instant gratification, because with these kind of tasks where you have to do small things every day, you're not going to get that instant gratification, because it is a long-term thing to reach. And by doing a little bit every day, you're not going to see growth.
Exactly.
And if people don't see growth, they're going to be this is pointless.
Yeah. And I think that the thing about instant gratification is that happens a lot. We all love instant gratification. We do something, we get the money, boom. But something about that is also not the inability to, but kind of forgetting to see the long-term goal, and just kind of have this idea of not tomorrow, but a year down the line, what does this goal look like for me? Mm-hmm. And then planning out the steps to get to that goal within the year, or however long it's going to take you. So that's why like you get so many like some of the most prolific writers will like get questions about like, oh, how do you not procrastinate, or how do you like not get writer's block, and instead of being like, oh, write 5 pages a day, they'll be like, write 250 words a day. 250 words is easy. 250 words is a discussion post. But if they say just only do 250 words a day and you'll have a novel in X amount of time, well, if you commit to that and you do your 250 words a day, you're going to find yourself wanting to write more than 250 words.
Yes.
And it's just like goal setting like that is so important. Another thing is like something to kind of beat like discouragement. This is something that my boyfriend tells me all the time, because I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I say we can do anything and I get discouraged myself. But he always says you can do 1% better every day. And 1%, like not 25%, not 50%.
It's just 1%. It's just 1, because 1% is doable. 25 or 50% might seem overwhelming, but it's the same. I believe it was Atomic Habits that this was mentioned in, but it might have been one of the other many self-help books I read this summer. I read a lot of them. But this whole idea of only just doing a little bit more each day, because if you do one thing each day, it'll take 2 minutes out of your day to do one thing. It's gonna accumulate to something bigger than you would have ever thought it could be.
Yeah, and like sometimes it's not about like sometimes the instant gratification doesn't come from getting the big goal right away, but it comes from doing the small thing.
Yeah.
And like getting that done. Like if you've ever made a to-do list and you cross one thing off, oh, that feels so good. You're definitely not done,
exactly.
But it feels so good. It's a similar feeling.
Yeah. I think it's also connected to this whole idea of it's not your end destination, but it's the journey that counts.
Yeah.
That's what that reminds me of, because it's really the things that you learn along the way that will make reaching. And because a lot of the time our goals never actually have an end destination, truly, because every time you reach a different milestone, you have a new set of goals you want to kind of achieve and build upon, and so it's really about what you learn through reaching an endless goal almost.
But that's part of visualizing the journey.
Yeah.
That's like part of you see one goal, you see your overarching goal, and it's a really big goal, and it's at the end of your like goal line right now. In between then, you're gonna have smaller goals, and to get to that smaller goal, you're gonna have even smaller tactics. This is just starting to sound like an acting lesson, but in the end, you're just gonna have a ton of really tiny goals, making it all the way to that very big last one, and then suddenly, like you look at your schedule for the day, it's like, oh, I just have this very tiny goal to get to, and like once you make it to that big goal, you're gonna look back and be like, I did this by doing a bunch of tiny little things, one a day. But to do that, like you just gotta be persistent, you gotta be stubborn, and you gotta find ways to like beat discouragement. Because there are just so many things, both like yourself being an obstacle to yourself, and then outside sources that maybe you have less control over, causing encroaching upon the human spirit, which is like that like part of you that like can do those cool things. And it's difficult to get through that, and you may not get through it every day.
And obviously like there are certain skills and abilities that some people are more natural at than others, but it doesn't, because I also feel that when people don't have the natural ability to do things, that they automatically believe that they can't, and that's not the case at all. It's more that yes, you might have to work harder, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means you might have to put in a bit of extra effort that the person next to you won't have to put in, because they have a little bit more of that natural ability than you do, and that's also perfectly okay, and doesn't mean anything about how likely or how able someone is to do a certain thing.
Yeah, like here's take one thing. Like I was talking about singing earlier. I've been singing all my life. I love singing. It's great. There are some things I can do singing-wise, some things I definitely can't so far. My little sister is a star. She is truly a star, and she can like hear a run and mimic it like nobody's business. I for the life of me have at some point I for the life of me had yet to figure out how to do any kind of like vocal run or any vocal acrobatics like that, because I did not have that kind of vocal control as naturally as she did. And for a while I got discouraged. I was like, well, maybe like vocal runs aren't for me, maybe that's not my thing. But you know, over time it's just like, no, I'm gonna take it slow. And then in the shower, I'm just going to every day do a run slowly and gradually increase the tempo till I can somewhat get it. And then eventually through doing that, like I ended up incorporating the runs into my vocal warm-ups and stuff like that. And now, like, I'm definitely still not a natural at it. Like, I'm not as good at it as my wonderful sister is, but I can do runs now. I can do it now. And that's cool. My next step is to be able to, like, improvise a run or something like that, which is really difficult to do. I mean, if you look up, like, Grace Kinsler is somebody who has never missed a note ever, and she does runs like crazy, and I, like, follow her Instagram. I'm just like, oh my god, I wish I could do runs like Grace Kinsler. Maybe that's my end goal, but right now my current goal is just, like, solidify your ability to improvise runs, and then after that you can improvise runs without missing a note, you know? So it's just that's like the kind of like goal setting and stuff. You want to, don't be discouraged by someone else being able to do it and you can't right now. You can, you fully can. You just have to practice more. Maybe you have a longer journey to be able to get to that point where you can, but you can. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do something. There will always be someone being like, oh, like, you know, we've never learned to do that, and it's just like not in our blood. BS.
Yeah,
just BS.
Pure BS. Yeah. And I think that's the key phrase is you can't do it right now. Doesn't mean that you can't do it. It's just maybe not yet, maybe not right now, but with practice and with time, that will no longer be the case.
Yeah. And like some of it is also like about adaptability, right? Like if you have some kind of like physical barrier to being able to do something, like you want to do a handstand, but you have a wonky left arm and it causes you a lot of pain, and maybe you can't do it in that way. Okay, that is a pretty big challenge that is in your way. You can still do a handstand. You just got to find a different way to do it. Maybe you can't do the typical handstand, but if your right arm's still good, you can do a handstand on that right arm. That's really difficult doing a handstand on one arm, but hey, if you want to do it and you practice, and maybe you need to seek help, and maybe you need to like do a lot of working out on that particular arm, but you can do the handstand. You can.
Exactly. Amazing.
And a special thank you to Al for joining me on today's podcast. And don't forget, you are amazing, you are loved, and I thank you for being here.